Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is AYU-CHAN and I'm from class 2023.
I'm Ayla study from Asli.
So in this video, we're going to debate about does sex education should allow in elementary school. So here it is. So recently, I just opened an Instagram, and on that app, I see in America, in their elementary school, they already teach their students how to use a condom. So for me, it is an uncommon thing in here in Indonesia. But do you think it's good to teach student, elementary student, sex education?
Ah, I disagree. I because uh, they still too young to understand about sexuality, especially about sex. You know, they're still young. They're emotional. They're cognitive, still in progress. So it's too early for them to know about sexuality.
But I think it is because they're young. They need to know what the sexuality mean because in Indonesia there's so many cases when elementary student has already done sexting without a proper what they call it again proper way. But I don't say that we need to teach them how to do sex right, but they need to know the what is that called again? The danger on doing that improperly. So that's why I think I agree with you teach an elementary student how to um, you teach them sex education from there from elementary school because we never know maybe because the internet right now is so big, it's large that everybody can access to the internet. We don't want the children to access the internet and find out about it by themselves because if it's they found it by themselves, they didn't have someone to tell them what is true or what is right, because everybody has a phone right now, even though a little kid has already has a phone for me. So that's why I agree with this.
I'm still in my opinion. I disagree for elementary for teach about sex education. I what I said before, they're too young. For about pornography in internet, they can access. We can watch them looking like we're
Uh, Take a look.
take a look. Yeah, they take a look about their phone, but they watch.
So we can, yeah.
Listen to me first. And like I said before, they're too young. There's cognitive. Their cognitive is still in still progress. They're not yet ready for sex education, and sex education is too sensitive for in our society, especially in Indonesia. Even when women's about menstruation, they say it's taboo. So,
But
and for sex education in elementary schools, it's big no to me.
if we always rely on societies, what they thought is good, what they thought is not, we won't ever be as good as in other country, because if we still think that sex is taboo, I mean, if it is taboo, but you can't just close your eyes not to mention, not to tell your kids how to do it properly because there is a change. They run into a group that legalize. I don't know, legalize is the right word, but make this thing is a common thing in their group. We don't want our children to did that that thing unsafe. Unsafe, I think the right words, right? Unsafe. You said earlier about the society standard accept these things, kind of thing. I mean, that's an old mindset. You know, we need to open our mindset right now. We can't just say that sex education is a taboo, and we can just, yeah, I understand they're still young, but I think that's because they're young. We need to teach them from now on because you know, as they grow up, they would remember all of these things. All of these things. It's different when you teach, learn about it from elementary school or from high school. Like there's a difference between them. What if they start to doing it before high school? There's a very um, high change they got infected in something terrible by doing something what they call taboo in our societies. So,
Uh, so I still disagree about that because I believe sex education in elementary school is the impact is more harm than right. You know, when you teach how to sex in too early age, you know, in elementary school, it's uh, there are more education they need to know than sex education. They can learn emotional and character development first than sex education. Yeah, in my opinion, that's would be worse for their growth when you uh, teach sex education in elementary school. You can do it sex education when in middle school, not in uh, elementary school.
so but for me, I still agree when sex education is allowed in elementary school. So from what I said earlier, they need to learn it from the start because it's a crucial thing in their life. Okay? So yeah, that's how our debate going. Thank you so much for your watching and see you
See you
next
next
time.
time. Bye bye.
Bye. Selesai lagi satu